Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're nearing the end of the month and that means we're also nearing the next payday. And what should we buy for our hard-earned money? And in this month's GPU price comparison, the Intel cards have gone up in price all over the board. The AMD cards have more or less gone down in price, I think, except the XTX, which has gone up in price a little bit, but the 9000 XT is back in stock, but it's still way too expensive. It should be priced just around the same as the 9070 XT to be lucrative, but it's not. So it's not lucrative at this price, at least. It does have more VRAM, and by this extra VRAM, it is better at 4K. And the same goes for the XTX. And the 9070 is not a true 4K card. You can play 4K. You have to upscale it to fit it within the 16 gigabyte VRAM limit, but it's not a 4K card. The others could be said to be 4K cards. The 9070 is a little faster than the 9700 XT, but they're very equal, and the only difference is really the VRAM. And since the 9070 is so much cheaper, I think the 9070 would be the go-to product as such. The NVIDIA cards has gone both up and down depending on the cards. The 5090 has gone down like 500 kroner. It's not a lot, but we should have in mind that they still don't produce these. So when stock runs out, it will be out. That it's still last year's production we are digging into here. And the same goes for the 5080. It has also gone down 500 kroner, and the same with the 5070 Ti. But it's still way too expensive to buy, I think, instead of the AMD counterpart. And it's crazy to think that the 5070 12 gigabytes, it was available for 3,500 kroner around Black Friday and less than 4,000 for the remainder of that last year. And then mid-January, they just shot up in prices. The 5060 Ti 8 gigabytes has gone down in price a little bit, and which is very nice. And this is also the model they keep producing. And the 16 gigabyte has also gone down a bit, 400 kroner, 450. And this is not a product that is in production anymore, but somehow it's gone down in price anyway. The 5060 have gone a little bit down in price, but not a lot. And this is also a product that they are not continue producing. But they are producing the 5050, and that is significantly gone down in price since last month. And although I still can't recommend this because it's just too slow, they have decided to make a new product with 9 gigabytes of VRAM. Yeah. Woo! I don't know when it will come to market. I haven't seen it yet, but it could be right around the corner. So 9 gigabytes 5050. Woohoo! Yeah. But which should we buy then? Let's look at price to performance. And the A750 has been down here for the longest time, but I still wouldn't recommend this. It's not a great card. The 5060 Ti has come down to a price point where you could say you would want to buy this over the 5060 at least, because it's so much better. So price comparison, it's a better buy, I would think. It's more future-proof. It has better memory bandwidth. So, but it's still a great deal more expensive, like 400 kroner, right? But I think I would want to find those 400 kroner if I were going to buy a low-end NVIDIA card anyway. You could also go with the 9060 XT 8 GB. It's a little bit more expensive price performance, and of course it doesn't have DLSS. So I think here you would want to pay the small premium of 250 kroner to get the 5060 Ti 8 GB. I think this would make the most sense at these prices. And then again, one of the best price to performance is again the 9070 XT. And it has just been like this for the better of a year now, I think. So there are really not many other recommendations I would want to make. It's just if you want an 8 GB card, you buy the 5060, and if you want a 16 GB card, you buy the 9070, and if you want a 12 GB card, you still buy the 9070. It's similar as that. There's two recommendations: 5060 Ti 8 GB or 9070 XT 16 GB. So these are the options I think are available right now, and this is mostly used to scarcity and high prices. So this was an easy one. But in the CPU department, we have here on the channel recommended the 14600K for a long time, because it has been down in price all the way down to 1,000 kroner. But now the prices has gone up on the K version to 2,000, and the KF version is 1,600 kroner. And this is quite expensive if you compare it to the 245K, which is just over 1,000 kroner. So 1,100 kroner, which is, it's a little bit worse objectively, but also a lot cheaper. And then there is the new player on the market, the 250K Plus. There should be a KF model also coming soon. I don't know why we don't see it yet, but it should be just around the corner. But this is 1,749, and this is one of the very best CPUs right now in price to performance. And its big brother, the 270K Plus, is also this. The 270K Plus is almost, in some cases, as good as the 285K, and in some other cases, it's even better. It's faster, it clocks higher, and it's a different architecture, so it works differently. So it's much, much, much better for gaming. And it's really only the higher tiers X3D chips from AMD that can beat this one. So like the 7800 X3D and up, and everything else just pales in comparison to this. And also, if you buy the X3D chips, you have in mind that you have in production value, you don't have the same kind of production value. But with this, you have high production value, workstation performance, and also having a very reasonable gaming performance. So I think, and the price has gone down from over 4,000 kroner to 2,500, which is a very big plus. The downside to this platform is that you are on, oh, you can't see that, but let's go into motherboards and Intel processor socket, and we are on the LG 1851 socket. And this will probably be the last processor on this socket. So you could argue that you are not as future-proof as if you buy AM5, which has another generation coming up in a few years. And also there is the other thing, that Nova Lake is coming out late this year or maybe early next year if they postpone it a little bit. And you might, well, how do we say it in English? You might regret buying this platform now if you are upgrading from an older platform, then waiting maybe 6 months and then getting something that's way, way, way better. but it also might be at a different price. So there is a risk that Nova Lake is so much better you will regret buying this. But if you don't have a PC and you have to have a PC now and you can't wait 6 months, I think this would be a great pick. Either the 250K Plus or the 270K Plus are both beastly good. They're very, very good and can easily be recommended. And they, of course, go on this platform. And we have lowest price. We could also go micro ATX. And we don't want any of those H boards because they are not worth buying. You can't run XMP on them, and you can't do anything on them other than just play stock, and it's the worst stock. And I think you would want to go up and pay at least over 1,000 kroner for a motherboard like the Phantom Gaming, the Oris Elite. Very good motherboards, because then I would recommend getting a C890 card or motherboard, but you don't really need to. There is this S Plus auto overclocking and you don't gain that much from it, and it runs really great. So you could just go with a B860 motherboard, really. But if you wanted the extra overclocking, you could go with the C890, but it's really not needed. But they're not that expensive, so it's something to consider at least. Let's see if we have something on the PSU side. $750 watts, and this is the wrong title. This is the VE version, so it's still really good, but it's not as good as the regular core reactor. And then we still have the Vega on the top tier A, and it's so cheap. Then we have the 850 watts, and it's still the Vega that wins. And the NMAX Revolution, it's an old platform. I wouldn't recommend this, even though it's so cheap. Or maybe I should just remove it. Still the Vega that wins this, but the Titan is also really, really good. And the RMX is also good. And the Pure Power 13 is one of the most quiet power supplies out there. So if the noise means most to you, this would be my recommendation. The Titan Gold is good, and the NCXT-C models are also very good. Also, the ASRock models are very good. And I think that these are reasonable prices, just at or around 1,000 Danish kroner. If we go to 1,000 watts, prices go up a little bit. And it's not a lot. I think prices are very good at the moment. I think my main recommendations here would probably be the Pure Power 13 and the Titan PL8. It's really, really good also. But I think this is only the white version, so we'll have that in mind. I don't know how good the Lian Li SX is, but it should be really good. But it's so close altogether. I think I would go with the Pure Power 13 because it's much more silent than the others. And I don't think there's anything else right now that's moving. There's, of course, still the SSDs, but all the lower end tier SSDs have gone out of production. So they will disappear from the market, and you will only be able to get the higher tier SSDs, and they have also gone up quite a lot. So this is the new market, I guess. And right now I would probably pick this for 1,600 Danish kroner. This is not much more expensive than it used to be, but it's still a lot cheaper than elsewhere. So at Phoenix Computer, buy this right now. Very hard recommendation. It's a very good SSD. And I think that concludes our end of the month I was almost about to say live stream, but recommendations. So that's it, guys. Take care and spend your money wisely. See you guys around.